vacation turned tragic, now shining a spotlight on food poisoning and foodborne illnesses. Former College of Charleston and New York Yankees star Brett Gardner and his family announced the passing of his 14-year-old son during a family vacation in Costa Rica. Yesterday, Costa Rican authorities said the teen died due to asphyxia and food intoxication. But today, authorities came back and ruled out asphyxiation, saying the respiratory tract was clear. Webb Wright spoke to a local medical expert about the dangers of food intoxication. Webb?
Well, food intoxication, better known as food poisoning, is caused by eating food that contains toxins released by pathogens. The pathogens themselves do not cause illness. It's the toxins that make you sick. It's something to watch out for, especially if you are traveling overseas.
There have been reports of up to 3,000 deaths a year caused by these contaminations of food.
That number, according to the CDC, that's roughly 1 in 16,000 cases in the U.S. that are fatal.
These conditions can cause nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. They can cause you to become dehydrated. And there's toxins that the bacteria create in the body, and that can cause an inflammatory response.
In the U.S., there were 296 food recall announcements combined by the USDA and FDA. Bacterial contamination, the #1 cause.
We hear about the recalls of food because of listeria. If you're immunocompromised, you're going to be at much higher risk. And that's where the listeria problem comes in. Salmonella we see with eggs and other things. We've seen recalls on foods for salmonella recently.
When traveling overseas, the risk can be greater for a number of reasons.
You need to be really cautious about the foods. The people that live there are more accustomed to all the bacteria that surround them. Well, there are different organisms in different areas, but I think most of it is hygiene, quality of the water, and also the food sources is different.
When it comes to guarding against sickness, the tips are pretty much the same whether here or abroad.
You do have to prepare foods to the recommended temperature, and you need to not leave them out for prolonged periods of time. I would not eat food that's been sitting in my refrigerator for days and days. That still is a great opportunity for those bacteria to replicate. Pick foods that are fully cooked. That will really protect you from a great deal of these bacteria.
And Dr. Scott says things like washing your hands and using hand sanitizers are simple ways to stay protected. And again, if you're not sure how fresh raw foods like salads and fruit are, she says don't risk it. Working for you, Webb Wright, News 4.